Where is Canvas Town and what happened to multiplayer? inZOI players everywhere ask these questions, and we will clear this up today on this episode of Breaking News. 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅𝓎 gave us an update this Wednesday to let players everywhere know that they had him up. It appears that his updates last week left many players confused, concerned, and conflicted because they were under the impression that a lot of the teased features were going to be abandoned. So 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅 came through to say, let's be very clear, sweetie, ain't nothing abandoned over here. And we're paraphrasing on that. But he did clarify that these features are being put on pause while the team works for the August update, and that players could expect new features later on. He goes on to state that feature feedback is still actively being worked on, and we're tracking it internally while steadily checking items off the list. That said, because unexpected priorities and urgent updates inevitably come up during development, I can't promise that every feature item will be completed within this year. However, these features remain an important part of our long-term plans and are always being considered. I think my last post Friday unintentionally created the impression that they had been abandoned, and that's my mistake. The development direction I've shared on Friday came from discussions with the inZOI creative director after reviewing the feedback we've seen most frequently over the past few weeks. So if you have been dreaming of your strollers, your frying pan riots, or whatever, you still have something to look forward to. Hopefully all these new features do make sense and add something to the game, especially the ones that will be added during early access if they are added. For example, hand-holding. Why was that? Speaking of hand-holding, thank you to everyone in the writer's room for holding my hand. I appreciate all of our channel members, truly. Thank you everyone for believing in my story, my dream, my vision. The truth, it's a miracle, and some might even call it a thriller. So thank you so much for supporting the channel with your membership. Now, 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅 also goes on to state that going forward, our focus won't simply be on adding more content. Instead, we want to build stronger connections between existing systems so that they work together naturally and create an experience that feels more like real life. For example, if your 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅 makes a new friend, we want them to naturally meet again at the park the following week. A gift received from a parent shouldn't just be another inventory item. It should remain a meaningful memory that can continue to provide comfort even years later. Players can also expect to see improvements to the family system because the devs are working to make family relationships influence memories and emotions that impact how a 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅 behaves. And to that I say, damn, what a time to be alive for LifeSim gamers everywhere, because that is some sick technology, girl. How'd that work? Because I'm excited to see how you make that do what it does. Now, 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅 also states that dialogue is another area that they're continuing to improve. Conversations should reflect context and relationships more naturally. A 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅 shouldn't speak to a stranger the same way they speak to a longtime friend, family member, or romantic partner. Instead, conversations should evolve based on the relationship, recent events, and each character's emotional state. It is very clear where the team's priorities stand. They want this game to be bug-free. So bug-free, they probably have chemical poisoning because when they wake up in the morning, they inhale the scent of raid and pesticides because they have eradicated all of the bugs that they could through their game. So they are aware of what players want. We want lore, we want culture, we want better personality, and we want systems that work together, be that cooking, parenting, school, and college, because what's going on with that? And honestly, today on Breaking News, I am just perplexed. I have a lot of questions here. Are the new features that necessary right now for all of you as players? Or is it better, and are you able to wait until 1.0? Could there be enough content added to what exists already in the game? For example, functional playgrounds, or more interactive objects, even better NPC behavior, because why don't nobody get on the rides at the Bliss Bay Pier? What's up with that? In other news, inZOI recently updated to version 0.9.3 And with this hotfix, it basically focused on bug fixes for gameplay, build mode, and things that were causing crashing. There were also a lot of issues surrounding the new mod layout. While it was very clean and easy to navigate, it was very slow and it would cause players to crash if they were to download something, and it just was not a good experience. So I'm glad that they were able to correct that. And for the full hotfix patch notes, I will have it linked down in the description box below if you want to fully check it out. And then you can also check out all of the July known issues that they recently updated. That way, if you have any bugs, you already know for sure if this is something that they're working on or if this is something that you too need to report. Now, if you are just happy to be here, drop some of your favorite emojis, maybe the last 3 that you use, down in the comment section below. I just get a little nosy. I want the gossip, or as my primas out here taught me, the 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅𝓎. What's going on? What's going on in your phone? In the meantime, remember to stay hydrated. Speaking to myself, because it is hot as hell out here in Arizona. Be kind to yourself. And stay tuned for the next episode of Dollhouse Diaries. I know we missed a week or 2. But working, student, deleted stuff off my PC. So this Saturday, we will have an episode featuring a very special guest, Shallon, who is a very beloved member in the roleplay and life sim community. In the meantime, be sure to watch these videos here that you see on the screen, because what else you about to do today? Not work. I know you don't be doing that. That's why they be calling you into them weekly meetings. Exactly. Now we'll catch you next time in the next video.
Tonight, they want to forget what happened less than 24 hours ago.
It's a whole wedding, so who's gonna be beefing? First of all, if you was beefing at a wedding, you should have been beefing at their wedding. Why would you bring this to somebody else's club? That's sad.
Hazel London was inside the club when she heard gunshots.
It's upsetting me and my homegirl, because we feel like, well, damn, if you can't go to Bella Noche, what the hell could you go?
Detectives quickly swarmed the parking lot as ambulances arrived.